The app making me the most money is not the one I spent the most time on. See, in the last 30 days, I've made about $286 from my various apps. Out of that, 125 of it is monthly recurring revenue. We've had some recent adjustments that have caused this to actually go up, which is great. Question I have is, why is one of my smallest apps bringing in the most money? You see, I've built 9 different apps that have shipped to the app stores, many big ideas and tons of hours sunk into them, and yet most of them make nothing. However, one of my simplest apps, Breadwinner. I'll spare you from going through all 9 of my apps, but I want to highlight a few of the bigger ones to show just how much effort I've put in to get nothing out, and maybe serve as a little word of caution or advice for you to shrink down on those big ideas, because sometimes it's the smaller ones that make the most. Let's start with what was probably my most ambitious project, which is Outsourced X. It is a platform for freelance jobs. I built this because, let's just say, I was frustrated with current platforms due to some experience I had had. As you can imagine though, building an entire freelance platform is pretty hard. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of setting up, and is a lot of legalese, and most of all requires a ton of marketing to actually make work. But Outsource X does it all. It has integrated payments between freelancers and clients. It has sharing and creating milestones. It has many of the features you would want from such a platform. And I spent months building this, thinking that this was going to be the ultimate platform for freelancers and clients. Would you like to guess how much that app makes? Drum roll, please. Go ahead. This app makes a whopping $0 per month, per year, forever. I've never had anyone actually successfully do anything. It was just too big of an idea for too small of a team, being just me. And it just requires much more than just building it, which is a lesson we are learning throughout this video. All right, enough of this nonsense. Let's jump into an app that makes just a little bit of chump change, something to show for the months of work put into it. Say hello to my app Control V, which makes it super easy to copy and paste things from one platform to another. Let's say Windows to Mac, your PC to your phone, whatever. I built Control V because many a times I have to copy and paste either code or little snippets of text or little screenshots between my PC and my Mac, or my PC and my phone, and emailing it to myself felt so old school, and creating a Google Doc felt so old school and antiquated. So I said there must be a better way, and what better way than to build the better way? Alas, Control V was born, and it took a pretty good amount of time to build. Also because I built it to deploy to every platform. So it's on iOS, Android, Windows, and Mac. So deploying to all 4 app stores was absolutely insane. And the amount of different screenshots, platform, independent sort of things you have to consider and take care of is insane and cost me so much time. I built it and it works, and it does work across platforms reliably, and there are some bugs with that I gotta fix, but nevertheless it works for the most part and does the job. And so I was so excited about this project because it solves such a critical need, right? Nope, nobody cares enough, especially to pay for it. And you know what, let me rephrase, because you know what, at first I did get traction on Reddit. So at first I had actually posted this idea on Reddit with an AI generated mock-up, and I wanted to see if people even cared about the idea before I built it. This is the first time I really tested out validation in that way. And guess what? A bunch of people, I think about 60 people upvoted it, said they would love to try the app and use the app. And I built it for them. But I think I messed up with the monetization, and it's just not something that people are willing to pay for. Another lesson in app building: sometimes a problem is existent, but it may not be bad enough of a problem for them to be willing to pay for a solution. You just have to be honest and say, hey, this didn't really work out. Or maybe at this time it didn't work out. The biggest thing to me though is building apps and putting them out into the world. Now, definitely have to step up on the marketing because there's no success without marketing. But it is something to celebrate, to have put apps out and to go for it. That is something that many people don't do. So I pat myself on the back, and you should too. Let's guess how much that app makes per month. Drum roll, please. That app makes $4 in monthly recurring revenue. It has had $12 in sales over the last 28 days. There was a lifetime sale, so there's that. I did release an update recently, and I've been trying to give some love to my apps, thinking that maybe that's the reason they're not working out. Nevertheless, it pays for half of a Starbucks coffee, so at least that's something. Sometimes I build these big apps because I had this idea that I could take down the big guy. You know, the little guy could take down the big guy, and I think that's somewhat true at times, but it's a lesson to learn that it's a much harder battle, and many times you don't know what you're up against. The last app I'll show you before revealing the big money maker is another app I spent way too much time building, and that's called Zap. I built Zap because I had heard people talk about thinking of the future and always thinking about solutions that could be applied to tomorrow, not today per se. So I thought EV cars are the new rage, you know, everyone has them, but how do you locate the chargers? And I decided, well, there should be an app for that. So I went ahead, did a little research, and decided I should build an app for that. Did you know that Google, one of the biggest companies in the world, supplies this info via a little known app called Google Maps? Yeah, so a little bit of a miscalculation there in terms of the demand for such a product. Now, I did have some cool features where it would display the chargers. I was trying to pull in, API data and stuff like that to make it more of a honed in experience for EV charging. I also even built a feature, AI assisted feature, that even estimates the amount of time it's gonna take for you to charge at that location. Another app I spent months building. However, would you like to guess how much it makes per month? Go ahead, guess. We've got an incredible $21 in monthly recurring revenue. Let's go. That will pay for like a beer and a half. Another beer money app, just something that didn't seem to have traction. I even ran ads for it and just never took off. And I think the monetization layer is just not there, and the need is not there. So another idea I sort of just have to scrap and go, hey, this wasn't a good one. But I learned a lot from it, integrating APIs, integrating the map, all of these things, and it was a learning lesson. And I'm proud to have released it either way. Okay, it's time to stop playing around. It's time to reveal the big reveal. What is the app that makes me the most amounts of dollars in my pocket every month as an indie dev? This is important to know. It's important to understand what's actually working. Massive drum roll this time, please, and that's my D&D character sheet app. And I should actually be showing you the Google Play Store, but that one's a little more zoomed out. But nevertheless, D&D character sheet app, as you can see, we've got 10K downloads. Now you see the problem is that number. I kind of have a lot of bugs in this app because I don't even know exactly what I'm building. Yes, most of the users are on Google Play. Actually, in fact, like 90% of the users are on Google Play. But nevertheless, this was an app idea I landed on based on ASO research. If you don't know what ASO is, it's App Store Optimization, essentially keyword research for the App Store. And actually, I sort of reverse engineered this because I didn't exactly use an ASO tool to do this. What I did was go to the App Store and start typing in random letters. And I'm not even kidding you. I typed in random letters and I started to see what search terms would pop up. This is the idea. Essentially, you want to understand what people are already searching for instead of doing the reverse where you're trying to build something to make people search for it. It's a big mindset shift, but it actually has led to the most success in terms of my app revenue. Really didn't expect much when I built this app. I did notice a few things though that made me say, might want to build this app, which is that I saw that there was a good amount of downloads for the #1 app for this term D&D character sheet. The #1 app, I am not here to slander it, but all I'm saying is it's an outdated UI, and I thought to myself, hey, this could use a really modern, take or a modern app for this idea, and D&D seems like a very fruitful community that's always dedicated and looking for a solution like this. So I went ahead and built it, and I really didn't even know what I was building. I used ChatGPT to ask what I should be building and how it should work, and it definitely helped me out a lot because I don't even play D&D myself. Nevertheless, this app makes me the most money out of all my apps. And I know what you're thinking. Chris, how much money does it make? I mean, come on, you've just kept us waiting this whole time. All right, it's time for the big curtain peel prize reveal. So the D&D character sheet app took me about 3 weeks to push out. So not even a full month. And in total, the D&D character sheet app has made me $1,000. Let's go! That's double of any of my previous apps. And this is only an app I released last year in late 2025. So this app made me $206 in 2025 and $813 in 2026. So this is a pretty big win. $1,000 from an app I created in 3 weeks is fantastic. Again, I think there's a lot of room for growth, and to make this become a meaningful part of my income, this has to be $1,000 a month. That's ideally where I want to be at. $1,000 to $1,500 a month is really what I want to be able to pay my rent with my app income. That would be the ideal scenario. So why does D&D character sheet work to bring in the most money? I think it's a few things. For one, it solves a real problem. D&D players needed to store information about the characters they create, and they can do it on paper, and many do, but of course with paper anything gets a little cumbersome. It's hard to sift through, it's hard to change. All the cons of storing things on paper. I think it's a really good niche with low competition. So you have that dedicated base of D&D players who are playing every single week most likely, or maybe every couple weeks with their friends, and they're dedicated to this. So there's a certain dedication in the community that's built in. Third, it's very low competition. I mean, there are some apps that do it. And the thing is that the thing that's hard with these kind of apps is that you're bound by copyright issues with D&D official content and rules, which is why my app does not include official content besides that which is Creative Commons. So there are apps that do this, but they're sort of far and few between, and of the ones that do it, there's a lot of just sort of outdated apps that have a very outdated UI and probably database, and just it's a very clunky experience. But many of them have a ton of downloads, so I can't knock them. They're doing great, and they inspired me to build. So cheers to them. Let's talk about the lessons I learned, and maybe lessons that you can take with you as well. One is that big ideas are exciting, but incredibly risky. The market that already exists is much more important than the features that you build. You can build the best app in the world, the most advanced, feature-rich, incredible app, but if the market doesn't care, you're not going to sell it to anyone, and you might not even have anyone download your app, or maybe just your friends and family because they want to support you and be kind and so on and so forth. But don't build in a vacuum. I get sucked in so much building apps for things that I want to do and I seek in the world, but I realize that that's not necessarily true, that other people see it the same way or are willing to pay for said solution. And even if I ask myself with some of my own problems whether I'm willing to pay for a solution, a lot of times the answer is no. It might not be too inconvenient, or the solution just might not work to solve that problem effectively. So I've learned about following demand, building small, and validating is paramount. And real successful app builders will tell you this, that marketing and getting your app out there and assessing whether it's a good idea and making sure you build a small version of it is utmost important, because even this D&D character sheet app did not have that many features at first. In fact, many of them, the homebrew features and the customization features were not there. I've added them over time. So just build V1, build the MVP, see if it gets downloads. And D&D character sheet was starting to get downloads even when it was version 1, but I just kept working on it, and it's snowballed, and hopefully it will just keep going. And sometimes it's the boring idea that wins. You see, I don't get super excited when I work on D&D character sheet, if I'm being honest, but what I get excited about is that it's a successful app that serves a purpose and that people care about and people are downloading, and most of all, they're paying me for it, which I need payments to be able to pay my rent, to be able to make this my full-time income, which is the dream. And so it is helping me reach that. And so I can't fight the current. I have to understand the mechanics that made it work and then how to replicate that. And that doesn't mean I have to be locked into that for the rest of eternity, but it does mean that I should observe that and be able to use that to my advantage to reach my goals. Build small, ship fast, and just don't spend too many months on any big ideas. Slow down, ship something real small and see if people care about it. You can worry about the monetization, you can worry about improving all this stuff later. And even if you want to ship V1 with a paywall, go for it. But just know it's gonna be a V1 and it might not be ready for people to it might not be a state where people are ready to pay for it. But if you can prove that people want a solution, then you can work on how to monetize that solution. But first is making sure people actually want it. Don't need the perfect idea, just build something, ship it, and see if anyone cares. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you took away I hope you learned some lessons from this, and I hope this is going to be helpful for builders that are in my same shoes or on an earlier path or earlier point within the path of a similar journey to mine. Sincerely for watching and supporting me. Please drop a subscribe, follow, like if you want to see further development of this journey, and I will be here sharing it with you guys, the real wins, the losses, and everything in between. By the way, if you're wondering, right now I am working on an app called SaleBell, which is a very tiny idea, might be even too tiny. It's just a dashboard, real-time dashboard and notifications system where it plays a cha-ching or a old school store doorbell for new sales and trials that come in from your indie app sales. It connects to RevenueCat and Stripe, and just it's sort of a dopamine inducing, quiet zone breaking developer tool where you can get a little bit of motivation every time you get a sale or trial for one of your apps. So you can keep building, marketing, and shipping without breaking the focus and having to refresh dashboards all day, which is what I was doing. See you guys in the next video. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Drop a subscribe, drop a like, and I'll see you soon. Keep building, keep shipping, and keep marketing and validating. Don't forget that, because you can spend a lot of time building something that nobody is going to use.